Former President Donald Trump possibly flip Arizona from blue to red in the 2024 U.S. presidential election. Ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, that's what we're going to be focusing on. Can Donald Trump flip the state of Arizona from blue to red in 2024? Now, I kind of find 2024 very interesting because even though Donald Trump lost the election, he still received more votes than he did in 2016. Donald Trump received more votes in 2020 than he did in 2016 and lost the election. Typically, if a candidate loses the election, they would previously lose votes. But Donald Trump gained more votes and lost the election. As you can see here, Donald Trump back in 2020 received roughly 74 million votes. That is significantly more in 2016. And Donald Trump still ended up losing. Now, you typically don't see a candidate receiving more votes and still end up losing. A candidate that loses typically loses votes, but on the other hand, 2020 was very, very interesting. Donald Trump received more votes than he did in 2016 and still ended up losing. That goes to show you that how unfortunate the 2020 election was for Donald Trump, and it goes to show you that 2024 will be another nail biter. It's going to be very close, just like how it was in 2020. And no matter who the winner is in 2024, that winner is narrowly going to win. Whether Biden is the winner in 2024, Biden is barely narrowly going to win. Whether Donald Trump is the winner in 2024, Donald Trump is narrowly and barely going to win. So either way, no matter who wins in 2024, it's going to be a close election. That winner won't win by a lot. So 2024 is going to be as close as it was in 2020, if not even closer. So we're going to be deep diving into Arizona and taking a look at some of these counties and how Donald Trump can flip the state and bring it back to the GOP. So basically, Joe Biden won Arizona back in 2020 by roughly 0.4%. That margin is not a lot at all. He won Arizona by less than a percentage point. That is extremely close. He won it by just a couple or few thousand votes. So, Joe Biden did not win Arizona with this, crazy amount of, margins. He didn't win it by 5% or 10%. He won it by roughly under 1%, 0.4%. That is awfully close, and that goes to show you that Donald Trump actually almost won Arizona in 2020, and Joe Biden actually almost lost Arizona in 2020 because he only won it by 0.4%. And keep in mind, we're talking about 2024, a 2024 Arizona where Arizona is a trendy, shifty blue state. Arizona is trending to the left, and it's shifting towards the left. And when we're talking about the future elections in 2024 specifically, Arizona is a trendy state that is leaning towards the Democrats, because in 2022 you saw those midterms went in favor of the Democrats. Arizona just elected their Democratic governor in a long time, and they reelected their Democratic senator. So Arizona's governor's race recently, Doug Ducey, the Republican, won that by double digits. And then in 2022, they elect a Democrat governor in a long time. And that goes to show you that Arizona is this lefty, trendy state. And it's proven that Arizona is going to shift towards the left when we're talking about the future. It is a futuristic Democratic state. So basically, can Trump flip it and bring it back to the Republican Party in 2024? Keep in mind, it is very possible that Trump does do so, because Joe Biden's margin, even though he won it, he barely won it still. Keep in mind, he barely won it. So it's definitely up for grabs. Now let's do a little bit of let's play around with the interactive electoral map. Let's say Donald Trump does win Arizona. Let's give it for Donald Trump's column. Let's just say if he does win it. Because we're talking about Arizona specifically in this video. If he does win it, I think he's going to win it by under 1%, just like how Biden won in 2020 by under 1%. I think he's going to be very close no matter who the winner is ultimately. So if Donald Trump does flip Arizona in 2024, let's just characterize it for him. I'm going to give it tilt to him because I don't think he's going to win it by any, not much. I think it's going to be close. So that ultimately gives Donald Trump 246 electoral votes with this map basically filled out. Because Texas is going to lean towards Donald Trump. I think we all know that by now. Florida is a futuristic Republican state, so that's very much likely for Donald Trump. And let's just say, because Donald Trump did win North Carolina in 2020, let's just say he does win it again with a tilt margin. It's going to be very close. So let's just characterize those for Donald Trump. So let's say Donald Trump flips Arizona in 2024. Ultimately puts him at 246 electoral votes. That opens up, so Donald Trump winning Arizona already opens up a lot of opportunities for Donald Trump to get to 270. His pathway becomes way much easier. Donald Trump's pathway to 270 becomes way easier when he wins states like Arizona, because that's going to be crucial. And I think if Donald Trump does win Arizona, he's probably going to win Georgia along with it. And if Donald Trump, that's already 2 flips, by the way. Keep in mind, that's already 2 flips for Donald Trump. Trump flips Arizona, he flips Georgia. He's still below 270. He's at 262. So if Donald Trump flips both Georgia and Arizona, that's already 2 flips for him in 2024. It brings him at least somewhat close to 270, as he just needs one more state, and that's going to come from the Rust Belt. So if Donald Trump does want to win in 2024, let's assume he does want to win, obviously. He is going to need at least 1 out of the 3 Rust Belt states, and that is going to be either Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, because I think Michigan at this point in time will lean for Joe Biden. So I think if Donald Trump does win at least 1 out of the 3 Rust Belt states in 2024, I think it's less likely it's going to be Michigan. I think it's more likely going to be either Wisconsin or Pennsylvania. I would kind of say Wisconsin. So I think Michigan will lean for Joe Biden. So when it comes to the Rust Belt, Donald Trump will need one of the 2, either Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. I think that state will put him over the top is going to be Wisconsin. I think Pennsylvania is definitely up for grabs for Donald Trump, because keep in mind, Joe Biden only won that by 1.2%, which is very close, so Donald Trump can definitely win Pennsylvania. But let's say Joe Biden does win it with a tilt margin, and then Donald Trump can win Wisconsin. That puts Donald Trump at 272 electoral votes to Joe Biden's 266. So ultimately, this is going to be a very close election. So, like I said, with Donald Trump winning or flipping Arizona, let's assume he does, because in this video we're talking about can he. So if with a scenario that Donald Trump does flip Arizona, it opens up a lot of pathways and a lot of areas Donald Trump can get to 270. So with Arizona, let's assume Trump wins Georgia with it, because I would assume if Donald Trump were to win Arizona, he would probably win Georgia with it, because I do think Arizona is slightly more Democratic than Georgia is. Georgia has a Republican governor, Brian Kemp, while Arizona has a Democratic governor. So I do think Arizona is slightly more Democratic than Georgia is. So in my next video, we are going to talk about Georgia. So let's not, dive too much deep into Georgia. We're mainly focusing on Arizona. So as we all know, Arizona, if Trump flips it in 2024, which it is possible, because keep in mind, he almost won it in 2020, as Joe Biden barely won it in 2020 by roughly 0.4%. That's not too much of a crazy margin here. He barely won it. That opens up a lot of pathways for Donald Trump. And if Trump wins Arizona, his easiest pathway is through Georgia and Wisconsin. So Trump needs to win those 3 states. He needs to flip those 3 states. Arizona, Georgia, and Wisconsin, he can get to 272. Meanwhile, on the let's take a look at the county map real quick here. The main thing that can help Trump win Arizona in 2024 is basically the Maricopa County. If Trump wants to win Arizona 2024, he's going to have to focus heavily on Maricopa, and he's going to have to rely on Maricopa County, as the reason why Donald Trump mainly lost Arizona in 2020 was because Maricopa County, he lost it. And if Trump won Maricopa County in 2020, which he almost did, he would have won. So like I said, Trump wants to win Arizona in 2024. He's going to need Maricopa County, which it's not, it's very possible, because he barely lost it. Joe Biden won it by roughly, 2 percentage points. And that was, an election that Donald Trump was facing a lot of backlash from COVID. And 2024 is an election where COVID does not exist anymore. So Donald Trump could possibly, have a better shot. Because COVID hurt Trump in 2020. And guess what? We're looking at a 2024 election where COVID is not taking place, meaning Trump does have a shot. And if Trump ultimately does win Arizona 2024, it's going to be through Maricopa County. This county specifically is the one county that is the most significant, the most important for Donald Trump if he wants to win Arizona in 2024. It's going to be through Maricopa County, which is, possible. He can win it. and he's going to need more votes. Keep in mind, he barely lost it. So if Trump can at least pull away some support from Biden to Trump and win the independent support, and Arizona is a state where at least around 50% or a majority of its voters is actually independents. So Donald Trump is going to need a lot of the independent voters to swing in his favor in 2024 if he wants to win Arizona. Arizona is a state that relies on very significant amount of margins on the independent voters. So Donald Trump is going to need that independent support if he wants to, win Arizona in 2024, because the key to victory for Donald Trump in 2024, Arizona specifically, is the independent support. Donald Trump's key to victory in Arizona, talking about Arizona specifically, is swaying the independent support in his favor. Because the reason why, the reason Joe Biden flipped Arizona in 2020 was because he took the independent support away from Donald Trump to Biden's favor. Biden won Arizona in 2020 was because mainly due to the independent voters. Now, if Donald Trump can do the same thing Biden did in 2020, which, do very well amongst independents, then Trump can ultimately win the state of Arizona in 2024. Now, it's going to be harder for Donald Trump to win Arizona in 2024, even though Joe Biden barely won it in 2020, is because it is a state that is gaining more and more Democratic support, as it is a trendy left state. It's shifting towards the left. Donald Trump's pathway in Arizona in 2024 is through Maricopa County alone, is what I'm trying to say in this video. So, there you guys go. Can Donald Trump win Arizona in 2024 or flip it? The answer is he definitely can. It's not going to be easy. It's definitely going to be hard, as Arizona is a futuristic Democratic state. He needs to gain the independent support. And there's a lot of McCain-style voters in 2024. In Arizona. There's a lot of John McCain-style voters in Arizona that refuse to vote for Trump in 2020, but hesitantly vote for Trump in 2016. And Donald Trump is going to need to do very well with the John McCain-style voters and independent-style voters in Arizona, specifically if he wants to win that in 2024. Now, I say this over and time again. If Trump wants to win in 2024, he's going to need Arizona. It is required, as that is his easiest pathway. Donald Trump's easiest pathway to victory in the general election to 270 in 2024 is through Arizona, through Georgia, through Wisconsin. This is his easiest pathway indeed. 272 electoral votes. It's going to be through Arizona. It's going to be through Georgia. It's going to be through Wisconsin. I can tell you right now, if Donald Trump loses Arizona in 2024, he is most likely losing the election, as that puts Joe Biden above 270. So yeah, if Donald Trump is going to win 2024, I think Arizona is going to go to Trump's favor, because if Trump loses to Biden in 2024, I think the main reason is because he loses Arizona. So Arizona is a crucial state, and I think the winner of Arizona is the winner of the election. I think that's true. I think the winner of Arizona in 2024 is ultimately going to win the election. Whether Biden is the winner in 2024, he's most likely getting reelected. Whether Trump is the winner of Arizona in 2024, Trump's probably going to win. So basically, whomever wins Arizona is probably going to win the election, is what I'm trying to say, because they probably win Georgia along with it. So let me know what you guys think basically on this video in the comment section down below. Can Trump flip Arizona in 2024? Let me know your thoughts on that specifically in the comment section down below. And we are nearing 400 subscribers, so make sure consider subscribing to the channel and recommending my channel to others, as we are approaching 400 subscribers. Thank you everyone for watching this video.